Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. You guys see the thumbnail, you guys see the title. I don't think we need to waste any time. I already did the point guards list. Now it's time to do the shooting guards. You guys know what's going to come after that, and so on and so forth. But I don't want to waste no more time. Let's get straight into the content. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And let's get straight into it. If you guys didn't see my top 10 point guards list, which you guys should go watch, I only had one honorable mention, and that one honorable mention is 3, 2, 1. This is for people who haven't seen the video. I'm about to say it. Ja Morant. Ja Morant was my only honorable mention. But for the top 10 shooting guards list, there were so many guards at the back end of that top 10 that I could have added to this top 10 list. And the first player is Jalen Green. I wanted to talk about Jalen Green first. I think he's closer to 15, if you ask me, than he is to 10. And I wanted to put him at the beginning of this video because I needed to talk about him and his game going into next season. We all saw the season that he just had, but it doesn't really hold that much weight for a lot of people because he was doing it on one of the worst franchises in the league. His game is impeccable. Him being able to read the pick and roll with Alperen Şengün, amazing work. His game in the mid-range, I'm hoping that he goes to that more this season, which I think that he will. That three-point shot is going to look more polished. Him being able to get to the rack, he is a 3-level scorer. If you haven't seen one, he's the embodiment of it. But he's not going to be able to perfect it immediately because, number one, he has a new coach, he has new teammates. He's going to have to pass the rock more than what he was doing in his past 3 seasons with Steven Silas. And now it's looking like he can actually win basketball games. So he's going to have to sacrifice something. Everybody knows if you've played ball, they tell you you have to sacrifice a part of your game to win basketball. And that's exactly what Jalen Green's going to have to do. What I wanted to say was that I think after next year he's going to be top 10, but I feel like I just talked myself into saying that I know that after next season he's going to be on my top 10 list, no doubt about that. And I'm really excited for him and the Houston Rockets next season. And the next honorable mention that I got is Dejounte Murray. I didn't want to put him on this top 10 list. When I was making the list, I originally had him at 10, but I was like, there are some other guys that are established at the shooting guard position that I would trust in his position more than him in his own position right now. So that's ultimately what the separator was when it came to Dejounte Murray and the other top 10 guys. But I feel like I'm gonna need to see more work from Dejounte Murray as a shooting guard, considering he just got done with his first full season at that position. And it wasn't a bad season by all means. I mean, it brought his team to the playoffs, but it also brought his team to the same exact spot. The only difference is he got one more game won, and that wasn't because of him, because he wasn't playing in that game.
Gotta cheat, suspend me. We back today.
Pass deflected, stolen. Grant Williams will dribble it out, and the Boston Celtics finally able to turn out the lights on Atlanta.
It was a good season from Dejounte Murray, and I do think that he's going to have a better season next year, but I don't think that this year was enough to get him into the top 10 shooting guards. I just don't. I'm going to sound like a real hypocrite once we get into this top 10, but the next honorable mention that I got, and it's my final honorable mention, is Klay Thompson. I could not talk about shooting guards and not talk about what Klay Thompson just did individually this past season. It's like the things that this man Klay Thompson was doing this season was uncanny. Yes, he did have his times of inconsistency, especially in the playoffs. When you look at it, the threes that this man is taking, he's taking them at a crazy rate. He's taking the most threes he has ever taken in his whole entire career, and he's still shooting 41%. He's taking 10 threes a game, and he's still shooting 41%. I was just looking at that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this man, Klay Thompson. But it's like there's other parts about his game that has, taken a back seat because of his three-point shooting. I kind of have to look at that. I kind of have to look at that. But this season, he's not a top 10 shooting guard. It's that simple. But to start the top 10 list, I have Tyrese Maxey at number 10. If James Harden does get traded, Tyrese Maxey will be the lead guard. It looks like they're going to be going to Tyrese Maxey way more than they were years prior, and I'm really excited for that. I don't know if he's ready for it or not because I haven't seen him in that position, but times when Joel Embiid is out, when James Harden is out, and it's Tyrese Maxey's team, go lead us to a regular season win, he does it. So it goes to show that at times Tyrese Maxey has shown us that he can take on that burden, and I want to see if he's going to be able to do it. That's why I really want James Harden traded, so I could just see Tyrese Maxey in a bigger role and just unlock his fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? He has the game. I don't really know about the defense. I don't know how that's going to hold up, but he is a guy that's willing to try on the defensive end. I don't know how much you're going to get out of that trying. 9 and 10 for me are pretty much interchangeable, but at number 9, I went with Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, a lot of people aren't going to want to put Desmond Bane in a top 10 category, but I am. People might not like the Memphis Grizzlies, but Desmond Bane is still a top 10 shooting guard at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you look at his stats and you see that his 3-point percentage dropped, but I mean, you're seeing that it's dropping from 43% all the way to 40%, and he's still shooting 7 attempts at that. And not to mention, that might drop, but he's also doing other things on the basketball court. He's doing more than just spot up shooting. He's getting to the rack more, and these are things that I'm seeing with my own 2 eyes. And not only is he getting to the rack, he's also finishing and he's converting. These are the things that you would like to see a guy of Desmond Bane's caliber do. There's 25 games without John Moran. I'm going to continue saying that. So we're going to see a side of Desmond Bane that we didn't see last year. It's either going to be a good side or a bad side, but we'll see. And this is where I feel like I'm going to sound like a hypocrite for not putting Dejounte Murray in the top 10, because this guy is my top 10. It's Mikhail Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets. Here's the thing. I know this man only played half a season as a shooting guard. I don't give a damn. Number one, I forgot to tell you guys this in the beginning of the video. This is my opinion, and at the end of the day, it's just basketball. As basketball fans, we're all gonna have biases, right? It's in our blood. As a sports fan, it's in our blood to have biases towards certain teams and certain players. And I'm gonna be honest, I have a certain bias with Mikhail Bridges. I don't care. And throughout that body of work that he showed us in Brooklyn, all 27 games, he was hooping. Number one, a lot of people predicted that the Brooklyn Nets would fall in the standings after Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving got traded at the deadline. Mikhail came in, kept them afloat. They actually secured a spot. They secured the 6th seed. You know, most of that was KD and Kyrie's doing. But kudos to Mikhail Bridges for keeping them afloat. Got them to the playoffs. They never got swept. He still played good in the playoffs. His numbers did drop a little bit. However, in those 27 games, the man looked like the number 1 option. He looked like he was going to take the keys to Brooklyn and be the number 1 option for this team and take them to the promised land. And that's exactly what I was getting. And what I was also getting from him is really good defense. Now, it wasn't the defense that we were getting in Phoenix, but it's still good defense nonetheless. If you ask me, it's pretty much above average defense that you would normally get in today's game. Man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Them 27 games moved me. Them 27 games moved me. So Mikhail Bridges, you land yourself at number 8. And another bias that I do have is Kyrie Irving being a top 10 shooting guard. I have him at number 7. And it mainly has something to do with just the way that he plays the game. Let's just talk about it for a second. I understand there's a top 10 list. I understand that there's rankings and stuff. Oh, he's worse than this guy. He's better than this guy. If my biases were taking over, this motherfucker damn near be 1. I'm gonna be so honest with you, because just watching Kyrie Irving play the game of basketball makes you feel like you're watching something authentic. You're watching something that you could try to go out there and do on the basketball court, but you just can't do. These are the things that people have been feeling about Kyrie Irving back in high school. And granted, I didn't know Kyrie Irving back in high school, but why I would sound like I went to school with this man, like, yo, I didn't know who Kyrie Irving was until he walked into Spanish class. Nah, but for real, I didn't know of Kyrie Irving's game until he got to the league, you know what I'm saying? And to watch him play basketball from Cavalier days all the way to now, and he's still perfecting his craft in a way that I didn't think that he would still be able to do, is just mesmerizing. You know what I'm saying? He's still a good finisher. He's still acrobatic at the rim. He's still, you know, got his crossover. He's shooting efficiently. He's still shooting efficiently. 40% from 3, damn near 50, 40, 90 for this season. And he's still improving his game at levels that we've never seen before. So I have to put Kyrie Irving number 10. And at number 6, I have a man who recently just got one of the biggest bags in NBA history. A man who can get to the basket at will. And a man who knows Jason Tatum very well, one of my favorite players, is Phoenix Suns Bradley Beal. A thing that I've been thinking about for a very long time, and I'm gonna allude to this more in a different video at a different time, it's reputation in the NBA. Because when you see one of the greatest defenders of all time, you think that they're always that great defender. And you see a guy who's scoring a lot, like Bradley Beal did back in 21, and they think that this is always this guy. This has always been who he is. He's always been a 30-point per game scorer. So we need to consistently see that from him every single time. I don't think that that runs true for Bradley Beal, because when Kristaps Porzingis came to the team, when Kyle Kuzma got traded to the team, Spencer Dinwiddie, he knew that he had to, take a step back from the scoring, play more of a, not really a facilitator, but just be a good decision maker on the court. And that's a reason why I feel like this Phoenix Suns team is going to be good with Bradley Beal, and to help him actually transform his game so he'll be able to play longer. And I think that that really does set him up for his upcoming role in Phoenix. I do think that a lot of people are going to be surprised with what Bradley Beal does in that point guard role in Phoenix next season. I'm so excited to see what the hell happens in Phoenix, because it's either going to be really good or really bad. So we made it to the top 5. At number 5, I got Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls. At the beginning of the season, his game was a little rocky. I believe it was because he was injured, but he was having some of the most inconsistent games, and he was having some of his best games at that. It was a weird time in that realm for Zach LaVine as a player, but I feel like he really upped the ante, locked in, focused, and finished the season out good. Chicago Bulls didn't make the playoffs. It sucks. They made the plan. Once again, I feel sorry for Zach LaVine that he's still in Chicago. Get the man out. Get him to a place where he can actually help a team. But the one thing that I do want to see from Zach LaVine more next season is drive more, get to the rack more. You don't have to settle for hella jump shots. Even if he's settling for jump shots and not more so getting to the rim as he used to in previous years, he's still a top 5 shooting guard in my eyes. And at number 4, I got a guy that recently just got one of the biggest bags in NBA history. A guy who can get to the basket at will. A guy who knows Jason Tatum, one of my favorite players, very well. It's Boston Celtics Jalen Brown. Finally, Jalen Brown shows up on this list. I was actually contemplating with putting him lower than Zach LaVine, because I think they're that close as basketball players. A lot of people like to overrate Jalen Brown, as I was doing last year. I think going into last year, I had Jalen Brown around like 15 to 17 range, and now I have him around like 25 to 30. That's not a really good place for Jalen Brown to be, because he's way better than being top 25 to top 30. You know what I'm saying? I think that he needs to enter that top 20 realm next season, because what I saw in the Eastern Conference Finals, man, I'm trying not to get on your ass, because you just signed one of the biggest bags in NBA history. Congrats to you. But damn, that finals was funky. It was nasty. Having more turnovers than assists, not being able to go left, dribbling the ball off your knee. It's just nasty. But however, that regular season that you had was one of your best yet, and it puts you at this point right here. And like I said in my offseason video, it's pretty evident that he is going to fix his left hand problem. Everybody's on his ass about it. There's no way in hell that he does not improve on that next season. So I am expecting him to improve, like I know he's gonna do. We don't even really need to worry about that. But Jalen Brown, you're at number 4. And I might be a little biased with what I'm about to say, but what he did today kind of helps me. 34 points, 11 for 20, 4 for 6 from 3. Anthony Edwards, you're at number 3. Okay, and when I talk about Anthony Edwards, I kind of got to speak on his name nicely, because I wasn't doing that last year during the season. If you guys aren't aware of what I'm talking about 9 months ago, I had this NBA Twitter hot takes, which I just released another one recently. You guys can go watch that after this video. There was a hot take that I put in there that said Anthony Edwards will never be a superstar. And I didn't really agree with the man's reasoning. My definition of a superstar is simple. Lead your team to multiple deep postseason runs, make an NBA finals, stay on the damn basketball court, and play to the best of your abilities. He's on his way to doing that. I said that in my video, but at the time where I had that video, he was going on a little tiny winning streak, and I was like, you know what? I don't really see this man becoming a superstar, being able to lead his team to a championship. And man, I was wrong. I was saying because this man was eating hot Cheetos and shit out the ass, the Popeyes and stuff, him not saying that he cares about basketball, he wants to play football more. And then literally 2 days after that, through the wire, interviews Anthony Edwards, and then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, the thing that really changed my mindset was, just taking care of my body more, eating healthier, getting digestion. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me, bro. This video is aging terribly. Milk, nasty, spoiled milk. But it's okay. I can admit when I'm wrong. Anthony Edwards, you got a big fan in this guy right here, and you're at number 3. And at number 2, I got Donovan Mitchell. We're getting closer to number 1. I think you guys already know who number 1 is. The thing is with Donovan Mitchell, I was going back and forth in the middle of the season if he was going to be 1 or if he was going to be number 2, and it just kept fluctuating. He had a 71-point game here, and then in the playoffs he was lackluster. But then the other guy at number 1, he was just interchanging that. Like whatever he didn't do. But then whatever he didn't do. What he did in the playoffs, don't need to see that ever again. You had a couple good games and you completely flamed out against the New York Knicks. Against Julius Randle? Come on, man. You can't lose a playoff series to Julius Randle. You can't do that, bro. I'm sorry. But other than that, this is his first full season in Cleveland. I personally think it was a success. This is the first time Cleveland has been in the playoffs without LeBron since 1997. I wasn't even born. LeBron wasn't even in his senior year yet. So that's kind of crazy to think about. And Donovan Mitchell was, majority of the reason why they got to that point in the first place. I feel like he's more confident in having the ball in his hands than ever. His defense kind of stepped it up this season at times, just like it was back in Louisville. I'm gonna have to see you do it in the playoffs though, I'm gonna be honest. And at number 1, do I even have to explain myself? Devin Booker. He finds himself number 1 once again. Things that he did in the playoffs was just absolutely excellent. And I mean, people were saying, I don't agree with this, but people were saying that he was carrying Kevin Durant in that first round and some of the second round too. That's the crazy thing about Devin Booker in his game. Every time that he would go on that baseline, midi, bucket. I swear to God, you look at Devin Booker, you see he's got the ball in his hands like, oh, this is going to be a bucket. Takes it, pops it, makes it. Every time. And I'm not even, you can go and watch that first round against the Clippers last year. Every single time. Gets the ball off the screen. Pull up, bucket. Every time. The man did not miss. It was an amazing thing to watch. I don't really think that I need to explain why Devin Booker's number 1. I feel like everybody knows that already. And another reason why I don't want to explain is because this recording's going damn near on 50 minutes. But that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You guys know what's next, small forwards. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see y'all later. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'm out. Peace.